Hey, Pete. What's up, Pete? Oh, shit. Oh, yes. Oh, he's on time. Look at that. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time. Welcome to Hot Pudge Wednesday one-on-one. My name is Pudge Fernandez. This is episode 9. Episode 9, and we have our guest on standby. Let's get him on. Guest on Hot Pudge Wednesday one-on-one is he there? Will he show? He better show. There he is. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Daniel Parafan in the dark. Daniel Parafan. There he is.
What's up?
How you doing?
What's up with you?
I'm all right. You all right?
Yeah, man. What's going on?
You're moving around a lot.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm trying to find a good place here.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. You trying to find a good place?
There we go.
Okay. I was about to say you had all day. You didn't have to wait till 8 o'clock on the.
Yeah, you would think so, but then I'd have to do stuff. So it's not really my bag, baby. My hair got long. No.
I see. No haircut?
No haircut yet. How about you, buddy?
I got one about 3 weeks ago.
How?
We have a beautician in the family.
Shut up! Really?
Yeah, she works in a hair salon, so she came to and put everybody's hair.
You're breaking up.
Yeah, I know. What's that noise?
Air conditioner. Should I turn it off?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, there we go. Nice.
Is that your studio? Look at you.
Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah, I'm in my studio too.
Yeah. And there's nobody watching because we're talking with ourselves.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. I always find that odd. I ignore the number first of all because that doesn't mean shit because it's gonna get saved. It's going on my YouTube channel. People are gonna watch it eventually, especially when you make it big. So I'm not worried about that.
Oh yeah.
It's all about the content. So I'm not worried about that. What's odd is that I will post on the story. I put up your picture, and your picture got like the most hits that I've ever seen.
What do you mean?
I don't know. When I'm promoting, it says under Facebook, your story. I put down. Put the picture of your double shot, before and after picture
on Instagram slides. On the slide.
No, on Facebook. On Facebook, your story.
No, I get that, but on Facebook slides or on what?
What do you mean slides?
You know what I'm saying? So not the slides. A post. You mean a post?
No, it was the slide. Yeah, up above the slides. Those
the
it
slides.
says
Okay.
Your story. Yeah, you got 256 hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's
it's always.
How many do you normally get?
Yeah, huh?
How many do you normally get?
Not that many. People love you and they follow you. They're attracted to you.
Yeah.
But then,
right.
but yeah. No, but I'm just saying. But then we start the Instagram and there's only one person watching, so I find that hilarious. No, I know. It's just weird how the numbers go.
What do you typically get on views?
It varies. It can be anywhere from a couple to a dozen. I think is my high. I don't have my Instagram is not that strong. It's weak. That's why I'm focusing on it so much. I just got my YouTube channel. So it's like I'm working on the Instagram and YouTube and just
how's your Twitter game?
That's way behind.
I try to get some people in it. We're doing a thread. I have access to a thread where we tag people in with YouTube channels and everyone follows each other. So you subscribe to theirs and then subscribe to yours. Because with YouTube, you're going to need at least 1,000 followers before you get 1,000 followers first, then 1,000 subscribers, and then after that, you need a certain 4,000 hours watched before you can start monetizing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I got that. I've been taking tutorials, watching YouTube, and learning all that stuff. So it's been I haven't been slacking during the coronavirus. I've been pretty busy. So yeah, 1,000 hours, a certain number of hours watched. It's anywhere from like $1 to $3 for every 1,000 views or something like that. And there's a 3 to 6.
You have to do these things. The preliminary parts, just like anything else, the starting part is the hardest part. Once you get it off the ball and rolling, it leads itself. So like, I'll give you an example of something that I'm not successful at it yet, but I'm in the right direction. It's kind of like I'm a first year open micer again. So what's happening with Twitter right now for me, I went from getting 1 like to 50 likes to 70 likes now on my tweets, which, and the only thing, I haven't really done anything different aside from sort of networking with other Twitter people. So I've been networking with other Twitter people, and that's how I've gotten more people to just like my tweets and retweet me. So I targeted.
You're mixing and mingling with other tweeters.
Kind of, yes. So, which is, you can imagine it can be a little tricky at first. You have the Nico. It's a little tricky at first. You kind of have to balance things out. You have to say things correctly. I target people with large followings. It's Nico.
Okay.
I target people. Yeah.
But when you say skinny in front of 2 fat people, I'm curious. Because I'm like, wait a minute, one of us is skinny? And the funny thing is we probably both weigh the same. It's just our height difference.
What I know, Nico, it's crazy. Nico said you're making friends. So I was targeting people with larger, stronger Twitters intentionally. So I DM them, I talk to them. There's people who run those like comedy tweets, one that intentionally only retweets comics or funny things. So I DM them. I haven't heard back from a couple of them, but I did hear back from some. Just like anything else, like you're asking for spots. You ask for 10 spots on different shows. You're going to get one person to give you a spot, but that one spot is infinitely stronger. Was infinitely stronger than anything else. So you focus on that. And Nico said, and skinny was for the ever-fluctuating Dennis. Y'all keep talking. I love you both. Man, love you too, Nico.
I got to get him back on. I got to get Nico back on.
He's he's so great, isn't he? So amazing. I can't believe we've known each other for like years. Isn't that crazy?
He was my first episode, my first Instagram Live.
I remember.
And it's my very first episode, and it's gone because when I started it, I didn't know how to save it. So dude. I have every single episode, after that because I finally figured it out. It's been a fucking nightmare trying to learn this shit. But, I got to get him back on.
Yeah, anyway, so that's what I was doing. I was targeting people with big followings, kind of liking their stuff, talking with them, either DMing them or commenting on their feeds or their Twitters, things like that.
What do you DM them? What do you DM them? What do you DM them? Hello?
I just start talking to them, things like that. I DM guys because it's obviously creepy to DM girls.
Yeah.
And I got lucky, too, because this one person who deactivated their Twitter had a really strong following, and for whatever reason, she just happened to DM me. We got into a thread on her tweet, and we started joking and laughing with each other. We started playing off each other, and for whatever reason, she just DM'd me, asked me a question, and we just started talking from there. Then I used her, not used is kind of a messed up word, but I parlayed her following to help myself out, because I was getting anywhere from 1 to 2 likes on a tweet, 0 retweets, which is dismal at best. So something I did, I partnered with another comedian, and every time I tweeted, she would like my tweet, and I would like hers, so on and so forth. That was one way to start building up. Another way I did it was using reply guys, which they're kind of annoying. They're half trollish. They're awful. But I used them because I started to, what I would do is I would interact with them, and then I found out some of them started following me. And and I think anyone listening to this is very familiar with the term reply guy, which if you're not though, it's basically guys who gets in the comment sections of any of your posts or your feeds or your tweets, and they start replying. So it's annoying because they don't usually like the tweet, which I've noticed, and I hate that so much. And they'll say something smart. So today, as an example, today I posted a tweet. I said something ghost factory, whatever. And then some reply guy from out of the internet, because someone retweeted it. By the way, a side note too, if you don't know this, reply guys tend to mostly reply to women. So if a woman tweets something or a woman retweets something, they just kind of say something snarky or stupid. So mine had something about a factory in it. She retweeted it, some girl, and some jackass said something about, what do you got a problem with factories? Some crap like that, right? So so this guy didn't like the tweet at all. I got kind of upset, whatever. So it was, but that's the kind of idea you have. They're trollish. They'll attack your point of view. I've even posted joking like I'm a reply guy. And I've gotten replies from reply guys.
It's an actual title, a reply guy? How do you...
It's not an actual title. It's an internet moniker. It's an internet moniker. You have to be very aware. There's monikers for everything nowadays.
Right.
So
if I go on Twitter, if I go on Twitter and just reply, that makes me a reply guy without liking it.
It depends. So different people have different interpretations. Luisa Diaz, so we all know her. She's a Brooklyn comedy booker, very popular on Twitter, very funny. Something she tweeted about, she's like, I don't consider every person that replies a reply guy. She said in her point of view, it's more like someone who replies something negative. So you can, like, sometimes you can put, like, I'll reply all the time because I think replying and adding comments actually does add traction to the post. So it actually does help, ironically. But it's like a double-edged sword because now you're getting help because it stays higher in the algorithm and it stays more active in timelines. But the negative part is you have a bunch of toxicity in the comments. So it is a double-edged sword there. You have to be very aware of that. And if after a while people see that those are kind of, you're judged by the company you keep, after a while, if you see that your comment section is kind of toxic, why would someone interact with your social media? Why would someone interact with your tweet? Why would someone do that? Why annoy yourself to either comment if you liked it or retweet it if you know the kind of audience it brings with it? Does that make sense?
Where do you learn this shit? Is there a Twitter school, a Twitter class you take it?
No, I pick up. Well, you know me, I'm very active on social media. So in the last 3 months, I would say I've done something which is unfortunate because obviously I almost ignored Instagram. I all but ignored Instagram and I all but ignored Facebook again, and I ignored TikTok. I haven't downloaded that, which I should have downloaded TikTok. It's my fault. So right now was the perfect time for boosting. You probably have another 2 months left for any residual people left over for a social media boost. So if you're going to do something, do it now. Start following now. It's not impossible.
I downloaded TikTok. I just haven't uploaded or done anything yet.
You got to start uploading and doing videos. You're wasting your time. If I want to say as simple as that, you're wasting your time. Yeah. That is, you've never been, no offense, but you've never been too tech savvy. It's not your strength. So no,
it's not. That's why I'm learning. I'm focusing on YouTube and content. I'm doing the Instagram lives, 2 shows. I'm doing Facebook lives.
Absolutely great. We're giving these platforms. See it like this. We're giving these platforms. You're creating your own following. If you want to be attractive to anyone, especially bookers, we're both a little older. We're still doing stand-up. If we want to be attractive to any agents, managers, or anything of the sort, we have to have our own following. We're past the point where someone's going to take a risk on us. We have to have results. It doesn't matter how good your stand-up is. You have to have your own following or have to be known or respected. Other than that, there's no point. Why would I sell a product that you have been for this entire time in this industry, in this business, and you didn't have the decency to build up your own social media following? No way. It's pointless. You're not going to help me. I don't give you the best stand-up in the world. I'm not going to sell you.
It's just the timing. Shit, I didn't come up in this era of I knew about.
I understand that. Okay, well then what about a podcast? A podcast is fit more to Gen Xers. Podcast, there was plenty you could do. There's no excuse here. Don't give yourself an excuse.
No.
Look,
No. I mean that all the excuses are behind me now. That's why I'm doing
That's
all this
great.
now, and
Okay.
all this is leading to a podcast. I'm building up to a podcast.
Good.
All the
But
knowledge, the content.
that's great. I mean, there's going to be internet monikers for every single site has their own single internet moniker. Reply Guys is a perfect example. Karens, etc. Turfs. There's going to be words you're going to have to Google stuff. Use Urban Dictionary. Don't be afraid to Google things. That's something I'm saying. I have to, because then you don't want to respond with a "I don't know." You could respond with an "I don't know," and it's very humbling. But you also might be insulted. Might be attacked forward, etc. That's another unfortunate double-edged sword. Like, where do am I humble enough to say I don't know, and am I able to take the onslaught of being called an idiot? Also, Twitter is very easily, which I just got jumped by a lady with 22,000 followers. Oh my god, that was awful. I just got. It's very easy. It's not like Facebook, where Facebook you shit post and say crazy shit, and you're getting jumped by maybe 10 people at once. In Twitter, I had hundreds. I got jumped by like hundreds of people. I had to block tons of people that day because I was getting jumped by this libertarians on Twitter. I got jumped. Yeah, I got internet jumped. You know what I mean? Like they'll be like, "Oh, this fucking idiot! Look at you! You're fucking stupid. You don't look Hispanic. You're white." I took some screenshots. It was awful. So it's like internet. She had her posse. She has 22,000 followers. This one woman, this libertarian, I got no fight with, and she had 20,000 followers. Blah blah, and they all like. Even if she had 100 loyalists, they came after me like dogs.
What'd you say to her?
I said that. I believe that Allison Roman was racist in choosing a chola outfit. And she said, which I don't know if you know, Twitter is also about what's happening right now, too. So you have to be aware that it's constant media. Imagine like just news constantly flowing. TikTok is more about performative art. And I know you're a little older, and should you be embarrassed? I don't know. Freddie G is a good example. Is he the example, or is he the exception that proves the rule? I don't know either. Freddie G is perfect. He's 36 years old. He has a 40,000 person following on TikTok. He has 1 million views. He is a 36-year-old man, married, a Jewish redhead with 40,000 followers on TikTok. He's not particularly spectacular. He's not making dance videos. He's doing stand-up and talking. He's a talking head. You have to ask yourself, is that what you want to do? You're selling a product. You're constantly selling yourself. You are a product. I'm a product. What am I selling? Am I agreeing with a group of people? Am I, with that agreement, am I creating a certain vibe, energy, or point of view that will create a following of certain people of this type?
This is where shit starts getting heavy. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ.
Why? It's not heavy. It's basic advertising and marketing. It's 101 classes. Think of you, Pudge. How old are you? Can you share that, or do you want to share that or not?
I just want to be a comedian. I just want to go on stage.
Hey, congratulations. I think it was David Tell who said, I love getting on stage, but I hate everything I have to do to get on stage.
Oh, that's nice. That's good.
I think
listen, but I'm working on it. And you're working. I mean, you're doing the Twitter and the social media. I'm focusing on content in my YouTube channel.
I understand that, but one plays into the other. If I can build a following in one, like my years of shit posting on Facebook actually taught me a lot of this first. So I learned a lot of this, and I caught me little corners, which is why I was able to catch up on Twitter so quickly, which ironically. So, and then next social media, which my next one is going to be either YouTube or TikTok or both at the same time. I think that'll be exponentially cutting my time down even shorter. Be open. You have to start talking to people who are a lot younger than you are. Again, we're both a little older. We're going to have challenges there. So because of that, I have to, most of my friends now are 19 to 25. It's a little embarrassing, but it's like, it's weird.
Just don't try to sleep with them and you'll be fine.
Oh yeah, for real. Ugh. Like who the hell can sleep with HAL nowadays? Gross. So you have to understand that they understand this program better than you, just like we understood certain programs for our fathers, et cetera, et cetera. We knew better things than them. But
I get it.
The difference between us and them could be that we have the discipline of failure. So we know what it's like to have a bad fall and still pick yourself up. And you understand what your limits are and what your limits aren't. So you can push yourself a little forward. They might just give up. However, of course, just like anything else, it's all kind of a random crapshoot because you don't know what's going to be popular for a mass amount of people. You can just kind of do what you're doing and throw it out there. And that's where the artistic side flows in. But you have to be omni-aware of every single thing. You, who you visually are, is how the average person will see you. You, Pudge Fernandez, if you say you don't like women, they're going to be like, typical Hispanic man, machismo, he doesn't like women. If you were a woman saying that, obviously it'd be better. You have to understand how you're being perceived. What you're saying, how you're being perceived, sometimes you have to walk on eggshells. I'm sorry to tell you, that's life.
Yeah.
So if you're willing to do that, if you're willing to, but I would say definitely, like anything else, two key factors in any social media buildup or any kind of sort of anything really in any industry that I've learned. This stand-up taught me this. Straight stand-up taught me this part. Make sure to partner with people, number one, and be persistent. And that's the two things you want that will help you undoubtedly. Unfortunately, the jokes, the artistic side, everything, all that stuff can actually be done simply. The more important part is the social aspect. It's taken me years to understand that, but that's the most important part. Sometimes, if you're good enough, the social part comes to you, and you don't have to play social part.
Yeah.
Some people are really good at socializing and terrible on stage, so they can still get a lot of spots. Some people have something to offer. It's all depending on what road you want to take. So another example using basic human psychology, and we can kind of take that idea and put it here into stand-up. Let's take the average person. You're not necessarily going to lend money to someone who's desperate, but you would lend money who you think is going to take your money and build something with it and then have more money to pay you back, which is kind of ironic, isn't it? No one lends someone who needs it. What?
Right. It's like a loan from a bank. You have to have some kind of collateral.
Correct. No one lends you or gives you anything if you need it. They only give you things when you don't need it. Be omni-aware of that. Same thing with social medias. People with strong followings aren't necessarily jumping for joy. They're not going to like your stuff. They're not going to retweet your stuff, whatever. You have to prove to them you have a stronger following. So again, I'm learning this from Twitter. I'm learning this from other social medias that I've used. If you have a strong following that you built on your own, other people that not necessarily work with you, they're going to start following you. It's all about building your following. These numbers, they matter to other people.
Yourself. Yeah.
Exactly. And then we could parlay that into money. If you have these people who do enjoy your content, you could say, hi, I have an album out. Check it out. Maybe they'll buy it. Maybe. That's the positive part with social media is now you have an audience that you cultivated. You have an audience that knows your brand, that enjoys your humor, and they go, I might buy that. Even if it's $500, absolutely, Cooper, absolutely. All numbers matter. Even if it's $500, that's $500 you made on something that is free. You're using these social medias for free. Please be omni-aware of that. It's very important. And that's some of the successes I've found. But I haven't even found success at all. I'm not saying I'm good at Twitter. I'm not saying I'm good at social media. What I'm saying is I found what I believe to be the foundations of something that can build me a large following. There's still so many marketable items there that we could do. Number one is podcasts. That's not everyone's a social media person, but you need a podcast. But the problem with the podcast is you need a way to market that to people. And number one way, I've never met a podcast that didn't have a Twitter, Instagram, or social media account attached to it.
Right.
I have yet to see one. I don't. Maybe the Daily with New York Times, that's different though. They're being pumped out by the New York Times. And even they have a Twitter attached to the Daily to their diehard fans still attached to them. And it's a little easier with podcasts because they subscribe to your podcast and automatically people download your podcast. They don't have to go looking for it. It's sent to them automatically. It's like signing up for your subscription for your magazine. They're set that kind of idea. And it's great. It's awesome. We're not there yet. For us, getting 1,000 downloads would be amazing. we'd be so happy.
Working on it. So let me change direction a little bit, because you and I, we're working forward. We're moving forward. We're creating our own lanes. We're trying to get ahead in the game or catch up, however you want to put it, whether it's social media, whether it's YouTube content. We're working our way forward, because as comedians, that's where the direction we want to go in.
Correct.
Let's talk about people who are not going forward, but have done something to maybe knock them backwards.
What do you mean?
A list.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah.
What? What about it?
You were on the list. The second list.
Oh, yeah, but that was an alt-right website set up.
Yeah, I know.
That wasn't like a thing.
How did your name come off? It was on and then off, right?
It was on it. It wasn't on it at first, and then someone added it. Whoever was watching this. It was done as, look, I want to believe if, just like any scale or range of things, leading from the egregious or the upsetting, let's look at it lightheartedly. Someone was poking fun at other people because we had, being so active in Black Lives Matter and being so vocal about it, some people got very upset. And either just to bust their balls because they wanted to rile people up. If you want to see it non-maliciously, and you can be like, they just wanted to rile us up and they're just being stupid with a dumb WordPress article that meant nothing.
Yeah.
Right? From their point of view, they could have been like, well, they're making a list. We want to make a list. Look how hurtful it is to be on a list. Not understanding that what people were saying originally was that these people were racist. And just like any racist, they were going to say, well, I'm not racist. Well, why? Oh, I'm not racist. I have a black friend, etc. Which we're in too short a time to actually get details about that, but we'll talk about that another time.
How hard you think Naruto got hit as far as his comedy career?
I don't think at all. If anything, it endeared him more to the urban scene. You have to understand there are 5 different scenes in New York City, 7 if you count the gay scene and the the Staten Island scene. There's 7.
How many scenes?
7.
Name them.
Urban scene, club scene, independent scene. That's bar shows. That's mostly bar shows, and you can do a little theater vibe. That's independent scene, alt scene. Alt scene is broken down into the Brooklyn scene and more alt scene that can be done in Manhattan too. Right. Then you have the gay scene, and then you have the conservative scene.
There's a gay comedy. There's a gay comedy scene.
Yeah, bro. Where you been at?
Strictly gay? I did comedy and gay bars.
Again, it's smaller. These are smaller scenes. The gay scene is a little smaller, and so is the conservative scene, but they're still there. There are people who do just these big Italian rooms in New York City who are conservative. They do them in certain places, but yeah, there's a conservative scene out there.
So is that like recently? Is that like within the last couple of years, the conservative scene? Well,
kind of. I mean, shows in Staten Island. Shows in Staten Island and shows in West New York or parts of Jersey that are adjacent to New York and Staten Island. Long Island, correct. And the Long Island scene too. There's a smaller scene, the gay scene, conservative scene, Long Island scene, a little smaller. You know, if you want to count them, you can. But I mean, they're still there. Long Island is a big enough scene where you're like, there's a Long Island scene. Let's not be foolish.
Yeah,
let's not kid ourselves. And I don't want to call it the Jersey scene because then it won't be a New York scene. But it's part of New Jersey too, because Jersey's right there, so it's still part of. It's like West New York scene, if you will. But it's a conservative scene. They're more conservative. You can't really go in there and do silly shit. You got to go in there kind of with the same attitude you would go in to an urban room. Stuff like that.
Interesting. See, this is why I like talking to you. See, I'm learning something new every day. I didn't know there was these extra scenes.
Absolutely. But the only reason I even know about that is because I'm more of a foot soldiery person. I just run around from scene to scene. I jump into whatever room is willing to book me. That has been a problem because I haven't been able to see here. But then now we start going into a different talk. We're building all the social medias. We're building a following. The problem is I'm not marketable anyway in stand-up because everything I do my writing is intentionally made to be omnipresent. I can do most rooms. The hiccup being because I'm not specific, you can't market what I'm saying. You can't be like, oh, this guy is this guy, or this guy's that.
Right.
It's more like
Right.
one day his performance is this, and another day it's that. He's not the same person the entire time. That's bad or good depending on you, the person. I don't like it. I'd love to get more specific. What?
It doesn't get you pigeonholed.
That actually does get you pigeonholed because you're a certain type. It's hard to but the problem is
just so you're a type. Your type is not being a type. That's your type.
Exactly. Type. Yeah, exactly. But that's not a good thing when it comes to marketing and advertising. You're forgetting that part.
So are you waiting to find your voice, establish your voice?
I don't know what the hell. I mean, maybe I intentionally kind of like doing this. There's a lot of ups and downs to it. It's not. I'll tell you one thing right off the bat. Is there plenty of stage time for me? Oh yeah, I could. I can do shows with no problem. Is it shows of worth? It depends on the observer. Depends on what you think a worthy show is. Is it profitable? No. When you get specific, you become profitable. That's something. When you run a podcast of a certain type of podcast, you are profitable. When you do something, you're profitable. Think of profit. It all comes down to money.
Yeah, no shit.
It's that simple.
Oh, man. Remember when we first started, we just thought it was jokes, writing, and being funny?
Kind of, but it's always more than that, too. I mean, the idea is if you want to think about what your friends are, no one's going to want to necessarily, unless you're really good friends with somebody, no one's going to want to boost up someone else. You boost up people who are younger than you or who are starting out because it helps. Besides, like, human beings have a natural sense of sharing information and wanting to help other people and kind of give insight. It's just basic human nature. So you'll help out someone newer because you're teaching them what you know. And on top of that, it's good to just constantly do that because you're constantly reteaching yourself. So it is what it is. Staying in the post is difficult. I mean, a lot of people consider themselves comics and they still perform just once a night. Whether or not once a week, or twice a week. Is that a comic? I don't know. Flip a coin. Tell me what to do. How much time in between? Is it like SAG? 3 jobs per year? Of course. Imagine if you told someone, I'm going to stand up. I do it 3 times a year. It doesn't count. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you think it's going to be when we get back to 100%? I mean, is there going to be a big difference? I don't know,
there's some predictions being done on some Twitter. There was a rhetoric, not rhetoric, but like a kind of post. Kelsey. Oh God, I can't even forget her name. She's really nice. She's funny. Kelsey,
Clark.
Whatever. She said something. She's like, well, she believes clubs are going to fade out. And her rationale is, well, think about it. We haven't been with them for like 3 months. It's going to take a while for them to get back to normal. We're looking at September for clubs.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So it's not something that's going to be quickly deeply. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, does that mean there's going to be more limited spots for us?
Yes.
Less fun, yeah?
Yes. There's going to be less people in New York. Less people are going to want to be in a crowded room. You're going to have smaller, more compact rooms. You're going to need to come up with more niche humor. There's going to be more of a need for more specific. Because you're going to have smaller rooms and people wanting that. It's still going to be humor-based, but they're going to want specific humor. I mean, after this, there's definitely going to be an influx of more black humor or more minority-based humor than what we saw before, which is good for you, bad for me. Even though I'm more Hispanic, if you want to break it down like that, I'm more Hispanic than you are.
How so?
I'm fluent. I read, and my family are actual undocumented immigrants. What do you got?
Oh, you're illegal, so you're more okay.
Yeah, we were undocumented is a PC term, but yes.
Okay, undocumented. Are they still undocumented?
No, my mom. Well, one of them is. Well, a bunch of my cousins are undocumented still.
Okay.
So it's not that hard to break in, but I shouldn't be saying it on camera. Can we blog that out?
Anyway.
I was kidding. What?
No, I'm just saying it's just going to be weird when we get back to comedy. It comes September, like I don't know what like you said, it's probably going to be more niche. There's going to be less spots. It's already oversaturated, so it's going to be dog eat dog. Every man and woman for himself.
Oh yeah,
it's going to be interesting. It's going to be. Yeah. I think it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and nothing. I mean, it depends on what you think you are. What are you providing? Do you have that following? Do you have people willing to come to your show? Just because you have 100,000 people on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, whatever, are they coming out to see you? No. Are they scattered out throughout the world? No. Is New York the die-all, end-all? Absolutely not. There's places overseas that need stand-up comics. There are places in other parts of the country that need stand-up comics. We might have to kind of kick the bucket a little bit and kind of run around. It's not a big deal. We just have to understand that.
Yeah, we're going to have to expand. We're going to have to diversify is what everyone's going to have to do.
Correct. You're going to want to reach out to every agent and manager on your own and email them 20 times a day.
Now, you're saying you think comedy clubs are going to close down?
Not all of them. I think we're going to lose a couple, though.
I mean, which ones?
I'm not going to name them obviously on camera. I'll tell you off camera, but not on camera. So.
Yeah, I got one in mind. I know one. I got one in mind.
I got two. And
really? I think I got one. Yeah, I got two maybe. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Yeah, place your bets. Place your bets. I think it's. I mean, it's going to come down to how economically responsible were those comedy club owners during the good days. Did they put something away for?
That's the thing. That's the thing. So I think New York Comedy Club is going to be just fine. New York Comedy Club's fine. Emilio and his team is very smart. The Stand is going to be just fine. I believe they have plenty of money backing them. I know that they had a hard hit year, and then they jumped into business, and now they got hard hit again. But I think I want to believe that their money backing them, the money backing them is going to be there for a little bit.
I think Broadway and Greenwich will be fine.
Yeah, they're going to be fine.
Al's been in it for 30 years.
We could lose the Lantern, I think.
Really?
I think it's maybe it's a bar, but the owner lives up above the bar, so we don't know that yet. So let's take a look at all the comedy clubs if you want to do a breakdown. QED and the Creek and the Cave are both in areas that are underserviced, so they think we just fine. I mean, Rebecca has the restaurant pulling in money for the Creek and the Cave.
True.
So she's fine there, I believe. I'm trying to think of any other venue in Queens. There's in the city, then we have A clubs, which is Gotham. We have Caroline's. I'm counting Caroline's as an A club. Some people say B. I'm going to count it as an A. We have Caroline's, Gotham, Cellar, and
yes, Caroline's a B.
I'm not going to say, but someone of worth. Caroline's, Gotham, and Cellar. Right?
They'll be fine. Yeah.
They'll be fine. B clubs include New York Comedy Club, Stand Up New York, West Side. Well, West Side is, I don't want to rate them just yet. I don't know about West Side.
They're past their restaurant, aren't they? And any club
they're part of the restaurant, so they're just fine too. Stand Up New York seems to be doing just fine. They have their podcasting, everything. Luckily, every comedy club has learned that you need more than one thing. That's one positive about this too, but that's also great. I mean, look at Center New York and stuff. Let's look at the old time clubs. So Comic Strip and Dangerfields. Comic Strip has enough money to weather the storm, and Dangerfield owns their space.
Yeah, the building.
Yeah, so they can have one customer a night, and they'll be just fine. So let's not forget that either.
So that's all the clubs. So who's closing?
Lanterns. I told you Lantern.
Maybe Lantern.
West Side, Comic Strip, Dangerfields, Creek and the Cave, Broadway, Greenwich.
Oh, LOL.
New York, Eastville, and other Eastville. Oh, LOL. That they might take a hit because they're in an expensive area. They might take a hit. I wonder what their rent is.
And the tourist is 100% of their take.
Yeah. We also have other Eastville.
How many Eastvilles are there?
Buddy.
Eastville in Brooklyn.
We have Eastville, as in near Comedy Club Eastville, and Eastville Comedy Club in Brooklyn.
Well, New York Comedy Club East, and then Eastville Comedy Club in Brooklyn.
Correct.
Right. No, I think New York Comedy Club East will be fine because, like you said, Emilio has everything under control.
Yeah. I think he has his stuff under control. So it's but I don't know about Eastville, Brooklyn. I just don't know that club. Right. Old Man Hustle has a comedy club in Brooklyn also. So I don't know about that one either.
Interesting.
Yeah. Remember they expanded, and you have Old Man Hustle in Manhattan too. And the Stand has Black Dark Money also.
I think there's going to be a bigger independent scene more than before.
Yeah, I can see that. We're going to have issues with bars for a little while, though.
Because it's going to be 50% at first. And then 75%, then 100%.
Yeah, it's going to be a while before we start getting real numbers back again. We're going to be September.
Yeah.
I have a show this Friday, like an outside show.
Well, where?
Brooklyn, but it's an outside show. And I heard Michael. I saw pictures of Michael Che dropping into a show a couple of days ago, and it was an outside show also, and it was packed. Outside shows for the summer are going to be a thing. Sorry, outside shows for the summer are going to be a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I've only done one Zoom show, and I have another one in about another 2 weeks or something, and like not this Friday, the next Friday, I think.
Yeah, I get you. I mean, what do you